Hey, hello, people. Good evening, good evening, good evening here in Rwanda. Yes, yeah, I'm all bundled up right now. Yes, good evening. This is Spirit Journey, and today is Saturday, April 19th, 2025, and it's just after 7 p.m. Yes, hey, today is the eve of Easter. Yep. Wow. Yes. You notice that Easter changes. The day Easter lands on changes, it seems, every year. And the reason for that, yes, good morning. I mean, good evening, viewer. Yes, hello, hello. Yeah, the reason for the change of Easter every year is that Easter is not a day that is celebrated because, you know, in the Bible, uh, Jesus had died Passover weekend or, time. But modern days, it's, it's actually based, I don't want to get it wrong, but it's based on the the celestials, the position of, I think, the first full moon after the next full moon or something like that. It's based on the constellation, that the position of the phase of the moon or something like that after a particular is a after someday. If someone knows that, the exact answer of that, yeah, please share it. But yeah, so it changes. So the constellation of when a particular full moon appear after a particular time, that's when Easter hits. So just saying, yeah, so tomorrow I follow Easter. But I'm from the States and from New York City. And our family used to have, when I was young, Easter dinner, So, yeah, so that was to the extent of it. We'll have a special dinner. Um, we would start like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, my mother did all the cooking. Yeah, she cooked a lot. Yeah. So, yeah, so those of you who do practice Easter, things like that, happy Easter. Yeah, I remember going to school the day after Easter. I remember the girls in particular, they wear their Sunday outfit because they went to church. Yeah, I remember the pastel colors and how pretty that they looked. But yeah, back then, I didn't go, my family didn't go to church back then. Yeah, but uh, the older siblings that I had, they went to, they had like just training. And by the time, I'm number seven of the kids. Yeah, by the time I was born, nope, no church. And I'm glad for that, actually. But later on in my adult years, I did go to church, but I wasn't like into Easter, as a holiday, but it was just a holiday, a religious holiday, but I wasn't into holidays and stuff like that. But I did at that time. I was a Bible reader when by the time I reached in my 20s. Yeah, but I don't follow religion anymore, um, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, but I am on my search. So, what is my conversation for today? What I want to talk about? Yeah, I want to talk about the what is going on with relationships. It seems like that there is a change of what's happening with people to people, and with, let's say, animals to animals. It seems like planet Earth is going through changes, and I would say, like, yeah. So what's prompted me to do this? I was just watching a video on these animals, things that are happening with animals all over the world. And before watching that, I was thinking about certain things that I see happening with human relationships. And human relationships seem to be uh, hampered. And so my thinking about that, about people to people relationship, than just watching the video on animals, I say, let me do a video. And I want to get your opinion about what do you think is going on. It seems like that the earth is going through growing pains. It's in distress. People are in distress. Animals are in distress. And I would say that maybe it's really, what's happening to what the animal kingdom and the human kingdom, it's really the same thing. People, pe- uh, living beings are in a fear mode. We are fearing. We are fearing our existence. That what could hamper our existence. Like those animals. What I'm thinking with those animals that I saw. I mean, they showed video clips of wildlife and wildlife that's entering into human uh, territory, if I can say it like that. They showed like alligators or crocodiles, other types of lizards, large ones, that are going into neighborhoods. They showed deer, adult deer, and those things with those big horns, bears attacking. They showed a bear that can open up someone's garage door. The bears know how to open up car doors. Um, they showed like a whole bunch of these monkeys in Thailand, massive amount. I mean, like innumerable in the hundreds, and they showed seals. I think you call it like a walrus or seals or something like that, and that they left the sea and then they went on top of someone's car right in the city. What is happening? Um, I mean, those things would frighten me. And people are getting these things on cameras. They're hungry. There is a massive, massive hunger that's happening. The animals are pretty, it seems to be more understandable what's happening with the animals. Even the elephants are going into people's home, trying to get into people's homes. They're hungry. It seems to be a shift in the natural environment out there. Uh, people are people are relocating to other areas in the world, and it's interfering with the animal kingdom. Um, Maybe deforestation is also causing the hunger. When cities are getting bigger, and then people have to chop down the trees to for wood for building things. Um, it's interfering with the natural order. And what are they going to do? And so they are venturing out into human civilization. And for to do that, it must be that severe, their hunger. They showed one video, this lady in Norway, like reindeer type of things, and uh, she was feeding a floor in her house, um, and she was feeding it through her window and then petting it. So when I saw that, I said, even animals have relationships. Relationships. This person on on a video used to say that he programming called relationships. And when I saw that clip, there is a relationship with those two people. I mean, those two beings, the human and that rare, whatever it was. So there was agreement, and the agreement was, okay, you're here in this human settlement because you're hungry. I said, okay. So the agreement was, I'll give you food twice a day, and I'll pet your little head. And and so there was agreement. And that's what I was thinking about, that there was an agreement. So we have hunger times. And the animals, for them to go into human settlements around the world means that their hunger is that intense. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, Lavender. How's Lavender? Thank you for asking, Tammy. Tammy, Lavender is resting right on the floor. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Lavender is okay. Well, he's getting better. He had a doctor's appointment a couple of weeks ago. His blood work improved. You know, his blood is getting stronger. I'm happy to hear that. He had some eye issues, eye infection, so I have to keep his eye clean. Um, Thank you so much for asking. Yeah. So he likes to sleep on the, come, let me show you him. Let's see. Hope you can see him. See. So he's all curled up. He likes to stay on the floor more than on the bed. The mattress gets too hot for him, I presume. So here he's on the little cloth, and sometimes he just goes directly on the floor when it gets too warm. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for asking about him. Yeah, and thank you, Tammy. Your prayers and everything. Yeah, your prayers and your your prayers for Lavender really touched my heart. Yeah, sleep is so peaceful. Yeah, he's still awake, but he's gonna go to sleep. So thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Tammy uh, um, did some prayers for Lavender, and she worked her magic, so to speak. And so I appreciate it. And another friend of mine was doing her magic also. Yeah, so people are helping. Yeah, people are helping one another. And I think this is the main thing about this video that I'm doing, this live stream. It's about people caring about others outside of themselves. And it's okay to reach out and to care about one another. Yeah, I'm glad Lavender is doing so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Tammy. Yeah. So, yeah, I think in a nutshell, this live stream is about people, living beings, for us to care about one another, and that uh, living souls are crying out now. Yeah, things are changing very rapidly. So yeah, so I was saying about the reindeer in Norway, and they made an agreement that that human and that animal made an agreement. Sorry, it's a plane. Yeah, people are. Let me change this one. Yeah, it gets better here. Yeah, maybe which one's better? This one? Okay. Yeah, so people are. There are relationships that are being built. And I see that every living thing has some type of need. And like those animals in that video that I saw, they're crying out for help, and they're scared. These animals are busting into people's homes, not because they want to just say hello, they are hungry and they are fearful. And they're coming across people that desperate to come in their home at all hours of the day. at dark in the afternoon. Yeah, and they're risking their life to enter people's homes. They've become so savvy. They know how to open up the garage door. They know how to open up car doors. Um, the door itself in someone's home. They crawl through windows. Yeah, things are happening and things are crying out. So, so it's sparking to me, especially with the one with the Norwegian lady and making the agreement with the deer and feeding it. See, there's a relationship, and everything there have to be some type of agreement. And so this portion of the talk is going to be about human relationships with one another. And as you see with the um, many videos that you see out there, you see people. And people aren't acting like people anymore. People are acting like those animals in the video. And what do I mean by that? People are afraid. People are doing that they wouldn't normally do. And I think it really started, at least from my understanding, it started around 2016 and then really started intensifying in 2020. Uh, Many people have lost their jobs. What happens when someone lost their job? When they lose a job, there's no money. Money runs out, and you become hungry like those animals in the video. And what do people do when they're hungry? They go things. And also let's say their health is jeopardized, and when you can't pay for your medicine, you panic. Let's say you have children and you need medicine for your children. Parents are going to panic. Parents are going to start maybe acting out. Some may feel forced to what they call the five-finger discount. Okay, remember that expression, the five-finger discount? Yeah, that means stealing just to feed their family or themselves. Or let's say they have rent. It's very sad. Um, so I was thinking about there are different type of relationships. Yeah, yes, that's most certainly true. Yes. Yeah, that's what Tammy's saying. Yeah. So even humans are reacting due to the current situation things. But I think humans are more complicated than animals. Animals, no food, they're going to go where they can find food. But people, I think, it's a little bit more complicated. The social structure of things seem to be more complicated. We have rent to pay, we got mortgages to pay, we have maybe school bills to pay, etc., etc. So you know what I'm getting at. And thank you for the thumbs up out there. Yeah, I started thinking about something. Um, Relationships. What establishes relationships? So here with the past 8 years, let's say 8, 10 years, the social structure has been changing due to the lack of jobs. And then you had um, the what they call the migrant invasion, or whatever how you want to call it, the migrant invitation. Either way, there is a decrease in resources. There's even people who are competing with to get a spouse. Because now you have people who are say, okay, I'm here in this new place. Hey, I find somebody, right? They said they want a relationship. Okay, or some people may feel, hey, they want to hook up with somebody because they need help paying the rent. Okay, they might want a what do you call it, a roommate, or maybe they want to crash into somebody's place, crash their place because because they lost their job and they need a place to crash. So you have different things that might motivate people. They might do things because they're motivated to do something. They're motivated for survival, okay? Especially these last 10 years in my lifetime, okay? Especially. And I'm seeing people not acting the way I'm used to. Um, People may not like just like they go out for a walk. They want to say hello. Something. People may not be ready to say hello. People are fearful. People might wonder, hey, why are you saying hello to me? Oh, you must want something, right? People are afraid to lose what they have. Okay. And so, like, so when you have these elements, you don't really know because it has a need, and we already saw with the animal kingdom what animals are willing to do when there is a lack of resources. They go outside of the comfort zone and even risk their lives to find food for themselves and for their loved ones. Okay, their babies and things like that. So yeah, I remember growing up, I started thinking, I feel a little heavy-hearted because of these, when I start to see correlations between the animal kingdom and the human kingdom, that we're not acting like how I remember. Even going to church, when I was still in America, where I live, people stopped going to church basically. When I was a young girl in elementary school, I on Easter Sunday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, okay? And I remember back in the day, you would look outside and you see the little girls, especially they wear their little Sunday best. It was like a light material, see-through, in layers. It came in like a yellow and pink, I remember, and some of them had baby blue on, and they would go to church. And I remember in school we had we would do arts and craft and paint little eggs and the little things like that. I remember that. It was religious but not religious. It was just more of a cultural thing in New York City at that time in the 1970s. Yeah, but now I don't see that at all. I don't see. Sorry. Yeah, it changed. The Where I lived in New York City, you have new immigration, new people from all over the world, and they may have different traditions. Not everybody is a Christian. You have Muslims, you have Jews, and again, you may have Christians, but maybe where they're from, they just didn't have the same. It wasn't the same thing. In America, at least in New York City, back in the 1970s, Easter more was a commercial holiday. It was the day that families got together to have a Sunday dinner and to buy candies like the Easter egg, with jelly beans, the yellow chicks, the marble chicks, and to buy clothes for church. It was all commercialism, and that's all it seemed to be. I didn't know religious, really religious people. I mean, I knew of people who went to church, but it was a cultural thing. Especially in the Black community, you would just, the social system, uh, the only safe place where Blacks were able to meet was church. You stayed in church all day. That's where you got to socialize, etc., etc. So, but before I left to come here to Rwanda in 2023, I remembered Easter, and people were not wearing their Sunday clothes. I remember when I was a little girl, it was dead. There was no that atmosphere. It's a dead holiday in New York City. Um, so that aspect changed. Religion has changed. Let's see what else. How people relate to one another. So back in the day, people would visit and socialize in church. And then now people are more into survival. Um, People may not want to spend time in church because they want to spend time at work. They need money. They may try to find jobs on the weekends to supplement the income. And especially the last 5 years, uh, a lot of businesses went out of business or they had to downsize. So they were not about religion and spending all day in church or synagogue or the mosque. They were about, um, yeah, but you're still a path. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, Tammy. Yeah, I am a seeker. I want to understand. I want to learn more about what they call spirituality. Spirituality is an interest to me, and also just understanding what's making us tick. I'm interested in the paranormal, metaphysics, and just how things are changing. The invisible world, how the invisible world is affecting us. That is my interest. Okay, good question, Tammy. So I started thinking, I started thinking back when I was younger. Okay, it's about relationships. Just like the animal and that the reindeer and the lady in Norway, they had made an agreement. Twice a day I'll feed you and then you let me pet you. So humans to humans. What could influence uh, modern day relationships? Because I start thinking, wow, people, it seems like now people don't have time for other people. People now seem to be more focused on social media. Nothing wrong with social media. There's a balance of things. But now it's like they don't want to deal with you if you can't help them and their channel and make it grow. People aren't interested in human to human, but what they can do to create a buzz on their channel. Um, what they do to some of them might compromise themselves. They might do something on camera to, let's say they wear something real revealing or something like that, or they start to say things to try to provoke a response in people. People aren't hooking up with other human beings. And if it seems like when people are hooking up with other human beings, it's about what you can do for them, not about human souls enjoying themselves. I mean, I remember my in junior high school. I keep thinking about this when I was in junior high school. I There were five of us, and I remember we would I would get up early in the morning so I can get to my friend's house. We would all meet there. All five of us would meet at this one person's house, and then together we would go to junior high school. Okay, I remember that, and for me, that was the happiest time for me growing up. It was spontaneous. We had conversation. We were socializing. And all of us, we came from all different backgrounds, um, but we were friends on whatever level we were at the time. But we were friends, and but I don't really see that today. I don't see that spontaneity of just meeting to talk, to laugh. Um, it wasn't about competition. Not everything's about competition. You notice that? Playing. Yeah, everything now it's like something hiding behind something. Something, it's like, hey, you want to go out? You want to go to the movie? Now it's like some ulterior thing behind what's being said. And I don't understand that. Um, I mean, I just keep thinking about junior high school. It was about just girls just going out. We were like 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old at the time, and there were drinks attached. Then I think back also, what might have interest people to meet or go over someone's house? uh, what do you call it? Cassette tapes that had music on it. And maybe one person had bought a new album. And hey, so and so got the out. Hey, let me go over the house and hear the music, you know. So it was things that connected them. And one way was music. We listen, you go over to someone's house, they play music. I remember being in the military and in A school, and one of the ladies, um, she she had these cassette tapes, and I just I was in her room, and we never said one word, and we just listened to the music. She introduced me to some of her the musicians that she listened to, the bands or the groups, and that's what we shared, and it was fun. It there was no strings attached. Um, Sometimes people, see, I was raised in a very male, I had like five brothers. My father was a real male dominated household. And so if you're used to being in that environment, it doesn't mean anything to you, But there's some ladies out there that maybe they didn't have males around them. And so, and if you have, you know, brothers, one motivation might be that your friend from school want to go and meet your brothers, So you have things that can motivate types of relationships. A relationship doesn't have to be sexual. There are all different types of relationships, just like the Norwegian lady and the reindeer. And the reindeer came by her house to be fed twice a day. And then the lady would just, it was an older lady, and pet her head. You know what I'm saying? So, so what could establish relationships? I already mentioned music. And back in the day, everybody had money to buy a record album. Back in the day, like a record album might have cost back then it was $4.99, and if it was a two record album, or we call it a double album, that might have been $8, or sometimes even a little more than $8, $8.99 it might have been. Now you're a young kid, you're a teen. I didn't have a job back then. I was in school, and I came from a real strict family of, it's limited things that I can do for my family. And, my parents, I was never hungry. My father worked. My mother, when I got older, got a little part-time job. But it was just, she just wanted to do something to get out of the house. But my father did all the work, the job, and the kids were responsible for cleaning up the house, things like that. My mother did all the cooking. So that's what it was like. But so I didn't have money. And especially at that age, 12, 13, not everybody has money to give their kids. And I'm one of seven. Okay. Um, so someone had one, you want to listen to music. Hey, let's go over so and so's house, listen to records, right? Any of you used to do that? Go to someone's house, listen to music. They had money, and then they do have able to buy an album or something. You listen it together. It was fun, and again, there's really no strings attached. And some people, maybe you had a brother or something, and maybe that girl wanted to meet your brother. That was I realized, I didn't realize at the time, but I realized as I got older that was an element for some of the people. Let's see what else. Um, let's say you get a little older, and maybe one of your friends have a car. They were 16 years old. They got their license, and maybe they pay. So some people may have had a car, and they got. It's really easy to get friends when someone has a car. You want to go party and drive around, right? And aren't I speaking the truth? So there are things that could attract people to a person. That's what I'm getting at. There are things that could attract people that be innocent. Okay. And again, just as long that it's agreed, like there's an agreement, So let's say let's say someone has, it's okay. I'll choose. They might choose the place where they go. It's their car. They'll choose where they go, and they get their buddies, whatever, in the car. And you know, um, if they can help out with the gas, right? That's a thing too. I remember living in Hawaii. Hawaii was okay. There's a lot of poverty in Hawaii. There's a lot of people who do drugs and things like that, and the cost of living is really high. I was able to eventually get my own vehicle. I don't like driving. I have to be honest with that. I don't. In Hawaii, you needed to get a vehicle. Yeah, so I was forced to get a vehicle and to drive. And yeah, it's real easy to get people if you got a car because people go somewhere. Things are expensive. And I remember one thing that I had a roommate briefly, that this one lady, she was older than me, and she asked me to drive her to the supermarket. And I knew what it's like to not have a vehicle. Uh, and and Hawaii is supposed to have the aloha spirit, right? The aloha spirit. Anybody know what I'm talking about with the aloha spirit? If you're not from Hawaii and you're living there, the aloha spirit. So I said, okay, and that person exploited it. They they took so much time and on purpose, and then they tried to um, insult me by how much money that they were to give me for the gasoline money. Okay, we were all in Hawaii. We were all poor. Yeah, things were very very tight when I lived in Hawaii. Um, so you have people who exploit, and that's why I mentioned with that one female. Yeah, it got so bad between me and that lady, and we had to share a room together, and she exploited my kindness. She took my kindness as weakness, and she tried to frighten me in my in my room. Yeah, weird girl. Weird. Yeah, she was older. She was about 5 years older than me. Yeah, I was in my 30s. She was already 40. And yeah, I remember that. And she had asked to read. I had like a little magazine, and I wanted to take a bath and soak in the tub. We lived in the same. We shared a studio, and I had to take a bath. I wanted to soak in the tub, and she asked, "Oh, could I read your magazine?" I said, "Okay." But when I'm gonna take a bath, but when I come out, I want to read my magazine. So I hand it to her. I go in the bathroom. Well, couple of minutes, she busts open the bathroom door while I'm in the tub to try to intimidate me because she said I'm taking too long. She could have just knocked and said, "Hey, I have to get ready for work." See that? She had a spirit of entitlement. You have people who, in their connection with other people, some people think more highly of themselves. And even when you try to help them out, because they asked you for help, they feel entitled. And she was a white female. Also, I think that was part of it. She was a white female from California, and she I think had an expectancy. I mean, it shouldn't matter what someone's race is. Okay, it shouldn't. But I think in her upbringing, that she may feel entitled because of her cultural upbringing, and that what was mine was really hers, and it got so bad. She wouldn't. Oh yeah. So I eventually get out the tub. Yeah, she was sleeping at one time in bed. She had my magazine. She fell asleep, and then she wants to barge in the door and try to intimidate me. Wow. So it got really bad, and she threw this scorpion on me. She had this scorpion in a glass container, and she threw it at me when I was in bed trying to sleep. Little things like that to try to intimidate me. Well, I reported her. Yes, I did. I reported her. See, she thought I was a dumb black woman. She's, she thought whatever what she thought about black people, and but she didn't know I was a smart black woman. So I reported her. See, I have the gift of writing. Okay, I was very descriptive for what she was doing, and so we were to have a meeting, the management and me and that lady. And so that lady in question, yeah, she hung herself, so to speak. I had a pastor back then, and the pastor had said in church one day, he was saying that he was trying to counsel this guy, and that he had to go to court, this fellow, and the pastor was trying to teach him, keep silent. Okay, to keep silent. And so the person said, the pastor was saying, because what you say could get you in trouble. Sometimes you need to be silent. So I remember what that pastor told me there in Hawaii. So I let the lady speak. Um, So she just basically she said it. Anything that she could have said that was wrong, she said it. She said, "I don't." How did she say it? I don't. Uh, she has to earn my respect. Referring to the magazine, my magazine that I let her read while I was in the shower. I mean, in the tub, and then I told her that once I got out, I was going to read it. But for now, you can read it. She says, well, she has to earn, saying that I have to earn her respect and other crap like that. Yeah, she did. Yeah, and other things. She had this blood that went on the floor. Yeah, her blood went on the floor. Yeah, she was a nasty woman, nasty. And so she said everything. It was amazing. The lady, the person, the mediator, was also a white female. She was an elderly white woman, and I didn't have to say one damn thing. The lady in question, she just screwed herself. And so she had to leave. She says, I'm throwing you out of the unit. I'm throwing you out. You're not allowed here anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So people can, and even though you're helping them, some relationships, they mentally are not uh, socially adjusted to know that, hey, a relationship is a two-way street. And it was my car, it was my magazine, it was my everything. And so some people, even though you might do something for them as just helping out, may not know how to reciprocate, and they don't know how to handle people, and they may feel entitled, and that's why so her social skills were greatly lacking. Okay, and it could be of any race or nationality or religious group. But in this instance, that's what it was, and I think part of it was a cultural thing in her upbringing about how to treat certain types of people based on her age. She would have been someone from the 1950s, and things were very, racially segregated in the 1950s. Okay, so part of it was um, social about it. But look now, let's go further. Let's say you like meeting people. Um, some people it's about business. And you may meet someone and you may think everything's okay, but some people, they might, when they meet you, they're sizing you up because maybe they want a business. They may have a business. Maybe they think, hey, this lady looks like she might have some money. And oh, she's from such and such country. Oh, let's see if we can get such and such for her. Or let's say you meet someone and they want to know where you live. Or maybe they might want to know where they live because they need a place to stay. Hey, how many bedrooms you got? Hey, people. So again, it's about relationships. And so when some individuals see someone new, they're trying to size them up. So it wasn't like in the back in the day, you're from the neighborhood and you just, socialize, maybe you're in the same school or you go to the same church, whatever. And so that's how relationships got started. But nowadays, because people are becoming less connected with people, but they're dealing with people via internet or let's say through businesses. Because again, it seems like uh, what do you call it, Generation X, Y, and Z, uh, people are becoming less and less socially skilled with dealing with people directly. And people like that, those animals that I told you about in the beginning of this video, people are hungry, animals are hungry, and these animals are so afraid and hungry that they're willing to sacrifice their life, the potential of their life being hurt in search of food. And people I see are becoming like those animals, that people are seeing people as potential marketing. Okay, like some people, they only meet, let's say, hey, let's do collaboration. You have YouTubers, they've never met each other in person, but they contact they watch the person's content, and then hey, let's start do a collab. So it's not about, hey, they're seeing an individual. Hey, this person looks like they got funny. We could talk to each other. Hey, let's hang out and ice cream or let's go to movies. It's not like that anymore. It's about money and business many, many times. And so you might think, hey, you're not doing YouTube or those other social media things for money. You just, hey, um, you have your little videos, whatever. Hey, after you get your video done, hey, let's go meet at the mall, or let's go to the zoo. Let's go to the park. You know, but it's being done now. People, it seems like now people are about industry. It's about money, doing collaborations for money or for popularity. And that makes me sad. That makes me sad because, when like you have people in the world and they have money, like you have someone who might be considered the richest person or the top 1% on the planet who have money. They have these big homes. You ever wonder why they had such big homes? They don't have kids, some of them. Why do, or some of them do. They might live in mansions. And you wonder why they have these mansions. Why do the rich have these parties? Well, I'm starting to see why. Because it's about networking. It's not about people. It's about networking. And they have these parties, as we see with allegedly with Diddy, the singer, that he had a lot of people. He had these parties. He had the white parties at his school where you were white. Had the after parties, and allegedly that person had put people in compromising positions to allegedly blackmail them. And some people had gotten sexually, a violation. Okay. So we're becoming a selfish generation. It seems like people are becoming more and more selfish. So even people like allegedly Diddy, with his millions and his network of people, many of them also have millions. They have multiple homes. They have multiple cars. They have opportunity to go all over the world. Even with that, it's never enough. It's always something more parties, not because that you love people, you want to share your happiness. It's about networking, and it's about getting something from them, whether it be clout, prestige, uh, money, or business opportunities, collaborations. You see what I'm getting at? So people aren't people anymore. People are dollar signs. Ding, 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 ding. People are dollar signs, it seems now. And being here in Rwanda, I'm starting to feel the same way. Like, remember last year I said the honeymoon is over? I'm seeing things now through a lens. I guess this is all a part of my spiritual journey, that I'm learning a lot about myself, and I'm learning a lot about others. Has things really changed from my childhood to now? Yes and no. I think, yes, people knew how to go out and have fun back in the 70s and 80s, but the millennial, especially when computers became uh, common, when the computers and the smartphones got in the general population, it changed the way we interact with each other. People now are interacting through their computers, through their smartphones, and they are, like when I first went on YouTube, I knew nothing about what they call monetization. That now people are getting paid to do videos. People are also getting paid what they call, I think you call it affiliations. Like uh, a company may reach out to an individual who has a certain type of popularity, and they say, hey, we're selling this product. Just mention our product and we'll give you money. So you have that now. So the way we do business is even just through what we call socializing via the internet, via, our smartphones and things like that. So the way we do business now is changing. Everything now is focused on having your smart, what they call your smartphone. And people aren't getting to know you. How many of the people who are collaborating have they actually ever met the person and hung out with them? You may never really know. People are not necessarily who you see on camera. Who are they off camera? Who are they? Whereas when I was a little girl, people, you know who they are. Because you go to their house, or you meet in school, or you meet at a park. But now people aren't meeting there. People are meeting through social media. People are being harmed through social media. You have little kids. But I mean, when I was 12, 13, we didn't have a computer, things like that. Now, little girls and boys have computers. They could talk to someone from another country. and they could be told things. People, you have people who are unaliving themselves because of something that happened to them through social media, and they may have met the person. Could you believe that? Could you believe that people are, some young people are unaliving themselves because what's being said on the computer? So they have what's called AI, and they could invent a video clip of someone that's supposed to be them doing something very questionable to shame them. Could you believe it? So you don't even know who's real. You could be watching a video and it's not a real person, but an AI person. And you might feel like you're buddies with that person, and it may not be real. It could all be computer generated via AI. And the person that you're collaborating could possibly be a made up person. And then if you are fortunate enough to meet someone in person, how do you get along? Is this relationship based on just two human beings, or is there something attached to that meeting? What are they saying to you? Are they respecting you? Do they feel entitled? Do they feel that because maybe they have make more money, or maybe they're more popular on their channel, maybe they got a million subscribers and everybody else is beneath them? How do they treat you as a human being? I'm seeing that the world has changed, and the way we acquire friends has changed. Now it's not like acquiring a friend, but a collaboration. What could you give me? Type of thing. And that's why I'm grieving. I mean, my heart is a little heavy right now, because that is becoming the element. People aren't interested in other people only if something that they can get. People aren't just about people anymore. People have, seems like, uh, could be ulterior motives, and we don't know how to treat each other. We can't just sit down and just have a cup of tea and just relax. We can just maybe just watch a TV show. It's not, it's like, wow. Especially like coming here in Africa. So, a plane. Here in Africa, the 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 money. Let's just say it that way. The the economics of people. They're you're meeting different extreme here. Um, Many people do not have. You have people who wonder when they're going to get the next meal. That is a reality in Africa. We don't have the same imports. We're land, what they call land locked, meaning we're not surrounded by like a beach, or a shore where a lot of goods come in through the ports, and then it goes inland. We don't have a port, so things have to go through one country to enter our country, and this costs money. And you may not have the money to bring in these goods. So the way we live here in Africa is different. You're dealing with people who, in some countries, um, the majority of the people do not have internet. So if you're from a country where the primary means of how we meet is via the internet, so it's going to hinder your relationship because you might have been used to socializing via internet. So if most of the people don't have internet, it's going to limit where you live and your interactions with other people. What else? Money. People may not have money for, let's say, an ice cream. They may not have it. It's about hand to mouth, whenever when they can get it. They may not have it. They don't have extra money. Some people don't have bank accounts. Whatever money they get, they go to buy their food. Okay, so things here in Africa with relationships, it's more about survival, true survival. They may see you as a Westerner, and they may assume by how you dress, maybe the way you wear your hair, people can tell who's a local person, who's foreigner. Come on, just give it a mirror. You can spot them out. So just imagine here and how you may feel, how you may be viewed as a result of being a foreigner or a Westerner. What type of relationships, when they see you, do they want? Do they see you as an opportunity that they can get money or they can get food from you? What is it? What is it? Or let's say other people who were raised in a Western environment. They may, they may wonder also, what is your relationship to me? What could you give me? Or what can I get from you? That's what I'm getting at. That reality, the way we meet people has changed, the way how people, um, the way people make money has changed. Everything has changed. The way people find a boyfriend or girlfriend has changed. People are meeting via internet. So you don't know what you're getting when you go through a dating app. There's some people, what you see is not what you get. You have people who they have apps that could change the way you look and make you look kind of better than you really look. Uh, you have people who could have an avatar and they don't even look like that avatar. It's somebody else to attract people, to attract a prospective person. They're hoping that the person won't notice, and then they spring it on them. It could be used as a trap to take advantage of a young female. Because now it's like a lot of people can't afford school anymore. Back in the day, a lot of women went to college and things like that in hopes of finding a partner. These are some of the things that people did to meet people. Meet people maybe outside of the community. Maybe they don't want to date someone from their community. Maybe just one of those communities you want to find someone outside of your community. So, but now, people may not be able to afford college anymore. Maybe they don't have the grades to get into college anymore. They're forced to get a job, an entry job, and can't go to school right away. So their availability to meet people have changed, and a lot of ways how people are meeting is through their social media, through apps, dating apps, videos, collaborations, and we're suffering how we talk to one another. I've met people that uh, let's say that it seems like boundaries. What I'm experiencing, with men, boundaries. People aren't learning about boundaries and because maybe I mean I can only speculate. Is it because of social media, or that because I am a foreigner and they might think being a foreigner that you are a particular way and they want to get a quickie? I'm being real, being real. So what is it? They're not being socialized. Hey, how do you talk to a lady? They might just they just could be more of instinct about just trying to um, uh, get something, right? People don't know how to court anymore. People just want instant gratification. What could you give me? They're not interested in getting to know the woman. So they do anything. Some individuals would do what they can do to um, manipulate some women to go to bed with them, to have sex with them. And you watch those shows, those paternity shows, right? That they play. I'm always shocked at the way when I watch those paternity shows, Judge Lauren Lake, and some of the guys say, "Oh, we have a relationship." And the judge says, "What do you mean you have a relationship? You at a paternity court. You have to have someone." Oh, no, that's not a relationship. That's just having sex. We didn't have a relationship. We just had sex. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking when I hear them say, the men say that. And then you have some women, because they're so eager to have a what you call a relationship, that they are willing to compromise themselves sexually just to not be alone, to so they can go on social media and say, "Hey, I got a boyfriend," or "I'm doing this and that," whatever what it is. Or maybe to bring the guy to their church. You have to, you never know what's motivating someone. Or maybe some people want to get a significant other because they want them to pay their rent or buy them a car. I mean, you hear things, even men requesting women to buy them cars and gifts. It's both. And it's like, what could you give me? They don't get to know you here. There's no friendship that's being established. What's happening is, what could you give me? Survival mode and entitlement mode of severe entitlement that does something great, and you have to buy them a gift. You all the time is money. Have you heard that? Don't waste my time. My time is money. So it's not, isn't the other person's time money? They think it's just them. That's how some individuals might think about themselves because they are whoever who they are. We don't know how to be human anymore. And that's, I think, our downfall. Um, Look at our people in government. Uh, you hire someone for public office, right? They're supposed to be public servants. They're not serving the public, they're serving themselves. They're getting what you call kickback, some of them. They're meeting, let's say, a company, an international company. Hey, let me take this congressperson to lunch. Oh, I got a deal for them. Oh, I'll buy you tickets for this concert. Hey, I'll travel you to another country, and you'll be my guest. It's a way to buy influence. That's what's happening a lot. And we're falling for it. And the country is suffering because these relationships are not real relationships. They are ways to manipulate or influence others so that you get a particular outcome. That's what the game is. So you're voting for someone for office, right? But they may actually be about something else. They want your vote because they have an agenda. And a lot of things in the agenda seemed about indulgences, to indulge themselves of more power and influence over others. And then the next thing you know, your home is taken away from you. You're not allowed to go outside. You have to get a particular, bang in your arm, from a mandate. Your life is not your own anymore. It's another way of controlling slash slavery upon others. To force others to do what you want them to do. That's what the game seems to be. And I'm afraid that eventually that we're swallowing up each other. We are swallowing up um, even the things that are making companies. We used to be able to go to like a restaurant and get good food. Now it's not good anymore. It's what you eat is not even real food. You know they're making the GMO foods, or they're making plastic food. You hear about the plastic rice? You remember about the watermelon that bounces like rubber, things like that, other things. So you're not even getting the product that you think you get, that you're supposed to be paying for. You know what you're really getting, and even the people that you're meeting aren't real. Some of the people you're meeting are not real. They're not human. Yet there's another YouTuber saying the same thing yesterday. Some people that you're meeting may not even be really people, and they're calling them reptiles. I think they're non-human, but they're pretending to be people because they have an agenda. They want to manipulate and control you because society is being transformed into a new system, and that system's not based on the natural order of life, but an artificial life with artificial food, artificial people, and people only interacting with others via a, a smartphone or computer. You go to a cafe, you think to meet people. No, everybody's on their device. And they're not dealing with the person sitting next to them because they're caught up in the device, and we don't know how to treat each other. And this seems to be something attached to um, human interactions. And we're in a survival mode, and we're being consumed. And now you see all these people, high school people, not high school, college. Heard about the college? What was that? Florida State University. You heard about what happened recently, and other incidences. People, the youth right now, people, teens, early 20s, they no value for life, or the political environment with the government. You heard about the boy who eliminated his parents so they can get to the person who's in office now to unalive them. This is a sickness. This is a sickness. People aren't being raised by, people aren't being raised by humans anymore. They're being raised by AI. You notice the type of videos that they have now, the thumbnails? It's not being done by people, AI. People are uploading videos and it's being done by AI. They're pretending that the person in the video is a real person. It's an AI, a computer generated image of a known person. They could impersonate real people. And you may be believing what you see. It's not real. It's not real. People, be real. I invite you to be a real person. Be you. Be you. And not everything has to be like what could, there's a reciprocity of when you meet somebody. If someone does a kindness to you, that you that that you accept, reciprocate and do something positive back. One hand washes the other. But learn how to, be of the heart. Be a person that's heart led. Don't be about the computer. Don't. Don't plastic. Let's be real people. Let's be real. Because society is being eliminated. Come on. We can do better than that. We could do better than that. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's learn to be human. Let's talk to one another. Okay? So, this is Spirit Journey. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Peace, love, and joy to you. Let's be kind to one another. Let's learn how to love ourselves and to love our neighbor. Okay? You don't have to have a string attached. It's free to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Come on, people. Come on. Thank you again. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful Easter. Okay? Take care. Bye bye.